Alright, what is up everybody? Coming back at you with another video on the channel today. And today we have another very awesome pickup. Obviously this is another Sharp by Design knife. These were designed by Brian Nadeau. Absolutely amazing designer. He has came out with some of my favorite knives, and every Sharp by Design I can get my hands on, I always pick it up. So I've got multiple videos out on my Sharp by Design Apex. I actually have 2 of them, and absolutely love these knives. Some of my favorites, especially this top flipper version here, the reverse flick, top flick, fantastic. So this is a new release for 2023. This came in June 23rd or so, 20th, something like that. From what I saw, this was pretty much a DLT trading exclusive drop. There's a bunch of versions, but I really only saw them on DLT. I mean, there might be some specialty versions, you know, some sprint run type stuff some people got. But anyways, this is the Sharp by Design Evo Typhoon full size. So I have a video out on the mini Evo Typhoon. That was a bad flip. There we go. There is the mini Evo. Absolutely love this knife. The action has broken in tremendously well. Got that nice harpoon Tonto compound grind. Love the mini. I've always liked the full size. I never held one, but I've always loved the look. So when these dropped, I had to grab one. So with that being said, let's get right into it. Always nice and simple on the packaging. Just a little foam there, and we are right into the knife. So I will start by saying this is actually my second one of these. The first one I got was the full PVD scales with a Arctic Storm fat carbon inlay. It looked a lot like this Purple Haze, but it was blue. I did like that, but down here on the bottom it had some DLC coating issues, let's say. Even that one has a little something right there. Anyways, had some DLC coating issues, and I just went ahead and returned it. But while that was being returned, I picked this one up because I didn't want to miss out on it. And I'm really happy I ended up going with this version. So let's get a good flick here. Bang. There it is, guys. So there were 3 blade options on this drop. You had this harpoon compound ground Tonto. You had this beautiful Bowie blade, and there was also a drop point version which was similar to this, not exact but similar. I was really gonna go with another harpoon compound ground Tonto, but I was like, well, I've got the mini, you know, I've got a Tonto. I don't know if I want to get 2 Tontos or not. So I went with the Bowie, and I am extremely happy with my purchase here. A full-size Tonto definitely would have been cool, but I've got the mini when I want to scratch that itch. So let's get a good look at the Bowie. Beautiful grind lines. These are done by Riot, of course. He pretty much exclusively does Riot, and I tell you guys, they absolutely kill these knives. Some of the best work Riot does, in my opinion. I don't know if they just take it up a notch for him or what. I don't know, you get some Riot knives, you're like, yeah, that's pretty nice, but you get some and you're like, yep, that's it. The Brian Brown Jaegers, and the good example of that, as well as the Raptors. I don't know, some of the big designers, I don't know, it's like they go an extra step. But anyways, absolutely beautiful knife. So we got 8.3 inches overall. I think we're right at 3.5 to 3.7 on the cutting edge. I guess I'll measure it out for you. That's what she said. So here we go. Maybe 3.75 on the cutting edge, 3.5-ish. 8.3 overall. So it is indeed a full-size knife. And I can get a full grip on this thing with a little left. It's easier to show with the right hand. The little left. The jimping is actually in a great spot, and my thumb actually goes to it. A lot of knives have jimping right here, but it's like back here. Kind of pointless. That one just grips up really well. Got his signature crazy flipper tab here. Get it closed here. You can see from the back, no jimping there, but you really don't need it. Just forms to your finger perfectly, and boy, is this detent nice. They did absolutely amazing on these detents. It's just one of the best detents I've ever felt. Same thing on the Mini for a flipper knife. It just doesn't get better as far as the detent goes. So another thing about these knives, they break in extremely well. The action's not always great from the start. It's always smooth, but as far as drop shut, it gets there quick. Break it in for a few weeks and it'll be looking like this in no time. This knife was not drop shut when I first got it. Do a couple quick size comparisons. We'll do, of course, the Mini. So quite a bit of difference there, really, in the handle and, of course, the blade. We'll go pivot to pivot here so you can kind of see. I prefer a larger knife, at least 7.5, prefer 8 to 8.5. And this knife, the ergonomics are just amazing. One thing about his knives in the Sharp by Design brand, everything is just chamfered so well. It just kind of melts into your hand. The pocket clip on these, not a hot spot at all, not a problem. He's really rounded this edge. It was a big complaint on the Apexes. The pocket clip was a big hot spot. I actually modified the tip of both of mine. I think I did pretty good. You can barely tell I did it. This was the first one I did, and it's a little more obvious. Still pretty good though. Pat myself on the back there. Do a comparison to the Apex here, in case you have one. Fairly close to the Apex. Definitely more handle length. What else we got? Throw the Jaeger in there. So quite a bit more than the Jaeger. I'd like to find a non-flipper Jaeger, because this one just doesn't fit my hand great, but you gotta love the Jaeger. How can you not love the Jaeger? Winter Blade Co-Factor, much smaller. Throw the Raptor. And I really like the marbled carbon fiber on the Raptor. I think it's the exact same there. And we'll throw a PM2 in here for a pretty close size comparison. And it is a little bigger than the PM2. Handles are very similar with the choil in there. So these are pretty much gone now, if I'm not mistaken. They stayed in stock a lot longer than I thought they would, to be honest. I was right there on the drop, bought it right away. There's only one fat carbon version. So there was the fat carbon version I was talking about I actually have a short on that on my channel if you want to check that out. There was this version with the marbled carbon fiber. Then there was DLC Scales marbled carbon fiber, no DLC blade options. Then there was he called it aspirated, and it did not have an inlay, but the frame had a bunch of cool looking cutouts. That was pretty cool. Really didn't do it for me. I really liked the inlay look, and they do these inlays so well. So back up to the blade here. Very nice looking Bowie blade. And another reason I went with the Bowie, so right here you can see this choil right here kind of stops there, and you've got a little bit of space right there. On the Tonto, there's really not much to grab onto, so you can actually reverse flick this knife. It's a little tricky, especially with my fat fingers. If you have, you know, skinnier, bonier fingers, you could probably do it much easier. But right-handed, I've got it down pretty much 95% of the time or so now. Left-handed, I gotta try a little bit, but you can do it. So that's cool to do, you know, just kind of when you're fidgeting with it. Are these, I want to say, I'm almost positive these are M390. I think they're S90V. I can't remember. I'm pretty sure it's M390. I know these are S90V, which is cool. I do like S90V. I have had a couple corrosion problems with S90V. You know, I leave them in my case for a week or so, and you know, you got to clean the rust off. I need to get one of those rust erasers. But anyways, love his pivot, and I love the way he does the pivot, where you've still got the, you know, 6 barrel pivot, but on the back side you've got a T8 torque spit right in the center of that. Very smart Medford. But yeah, just absolutely killed it. Centering's pretty close. I'm gonna break it in before I mess with it any. I might eventually take it apart. Of course, you got the frame in the back, mated very well at the bottom, even though there's a little, I don't know, can't tell what that is. They might have some finish issues with getting those grooves just right down at the bottom, because I had issues on the DLC, and now, let me get this to focus. There you go. You kind of see there's a little spot there. Camera swapping everywhere anyways. Refocus. There we go. So the action is extremely smooth, and you can tell with that nub detent system he uses, it's not a standard ball. You can tell when you hit the lock bar, it drops straight to your thumb. So it's really just that nub that works in a track, and then these knives are extremely smooth and drop shutty. I'll give you a few examples here. This one's very well broken in. Of course, gotta go to the apexes. Tiny little shake, and we've got the Tonto. Even less of a shake. So detents, very smooth, and talk about snappy. You know, this knife was the best detent I'd ever felt on a flipper. This one's even better. It's a little stronger, but it's just perfect for the knife. And I am really loving this knife, if you can't tell that by now. So I don't know if there's any left. If there is, it's just the drop point version. If you can find one of these on the secondary, strongly recommend it. They were in stock for a couple of days. I was very surprised. I feel like he's doing a lot of them now. You know, where he's done so many drops. Hopefully he's, you know, built up enough capital to get quite a few of them, and it seems like that's what happens. Nobody really announced this one though. There weren't any videos. You know, some knives you'll see a video a few days before it drops. None of that. Haven't seen a ton of videos even after the fact. He has done drops of these before, 2021 I think. So this is the 2023 drop. I'd love to see another Mini Tempest drop. I had a Mini Tempest and I sold it, and that's probably the one knife I've sold that I really regret. That, and I had a Damastil red dark matter inlay Pina Mula. Kind of miss that knife too. But yeah, fantastic knife, extremely well done. Just, you gotta love Sharp by Design, guys. Brian Nadeau is a designing genius, and I look very much forward to see what he has coming next. Really hope it's another Mini Tempest drop or a full-size Tempest drop. That would be a banger. So yeah, I'll show you my whole Apex collection here. Get them in frame. Nice. And it was funny what I was doing with the original one I bought. You know, I've got the purple, the Furious Fuchsia / purple, that Tontos that those matched, and then I had the PVD with the Arctic Fat Carbon that was going to match this one. I had a whole little thing I was doing, but I'm very happy with what I ended up with. So this has been the Sharp by Design Evo Typhoon full size 2023 drop. If you find one, guys, just buy it. So yeah, check out the channel for some of my other videos. On the way, I have the Best Tech Syn, S-Y-N. It was originally the Evolved EDC SYN, but I don't know what happened to him. A lot of people say he just went radio silent. I guess people are starting to get his knives, but now Best Tech is selling the Syn under the Best Tech name and not listing him as the designer. So don't know what's going on there. Hope dude's good. That sucks, as he had a super cool prototype, the Rex, that he was going to do next that I thought would be really cool. Hope that still comes out. Anyways, guys, so look for that Best Tech Syn video coming soon. This has been a review. Appreciate y'all watching. Have yourself a great day.